Welcome to Trekking Wild. Today is September 1st, 2025, and we are in Crater Lake National Park hiking the Union Peak Trail. The hike to Union Peak is 9.5 miles with 1,683 feet of elevation gain. The route starts on the Pacific Crest Trail, which we follow for the first 2.4 miles before turning onto the Union Peak Trail. From there, the climbing really begins, with the steepest and rockiest section coming in the final half mile below the summit. That's the plan for today. Let's go hiking. Today we are back in Crater Lake National Park, and we are currently hiking the Union Peak Trail. This is another trail that all trails in the sign at the trailhead have a discrepancy. So all trails has it listed at I think 9.8 miles, something like that. And the trailhead sign said 11. So we'll see which one is correct. There's about 1,700 feet of elevation gain, and we go up to a peak of an old volcano. So should be a pretty cool hike. Supposed to have great views of Southern Oregon at the top, although there's definitely some smoke in the air today, so we'll see how unobstructed those views are. We start off again hiking on the PCT. We'll eventually break off of the PCT and then work our way up to Union Peak. All right, we are 2.5 miles in. We just reached the junction to where we leave the Pacific Crest Trail and we head up the Union Peak Trail. Should start climbing pretty good here. I know the steepest part is the last half mile. You gain quite a bit of elevation gain up some switchbacks, and then there's like a scramble at the end. But yeah, we should have a steady climb at this point, now gaining some elevation as we work our way to the switchbacks. All right, let's keep going. Once the trail breaks out of the denser forest, the hike really starts to change. You begin to get more open views, but you also lose some of the shade from the forest. On a warm day, this is a hike where an early start can make a big difference, especially if you want to avoid climbing through this exposed section in the hotter afternoon sun. All right, I'm 4 miles into the trail and just getting my first look at Union Peak behind me, and that is where we're going to the top of. Pretty impressive looking peak. Looking forward to getting up to the top. All right, let's keep hiking. We've got another mile and a half to go. If you'd like to hike this trail, head over to trekkingwild.com for a detailed trail write-up, the trail map, and directions to the trailhead. The link is in the description below. As you get closer to Union Peak, the trail becomes noticeably more rugged. The tread gets rockier, the footing takes more attention, and the hike starts to feel much more exposed than it did in the forest below. This upper section is the main challenge of the hike. It is not technical climbing, but is steep, rocky, and slower going. Trekking poles, good footwear, and a little patience all help here. All right, made it to the top. The switchback's definitely steep and a good amount of scrambling. So if you have a fear of heights, this might not be a good hike for you. Really kind of take it in the views right now and just, enjoying it up here. All right, I'm probably not going to film much as I scramble back down. But once I get past that part, I might turn the camera on again and give some commentary. All right, we're about a mile from the trailhead, so let's go ahead and do final thoughts. Overall, I thought this was a great trail. I had a lot of fun hiking it. There's, some challenging points with the switchbacks and some scrambling. The views were amazing, even with the little bit of haze in the air from the forest fires in the area. The views were still just spectacular. So, yeah, I recommend it. It was a great hike. Mileage wise, we're probably going to end up right around 10 miles. So with the extra walking I do, picking up the camera and video and things, I would imagine it's probably going to be somewhere around 9.8 is the accurate mileage. Yeah, as far as who this hike's good for, I mean, if you're looking for a hike with spectacular views and don't mind a little scrambling, this hike's for you. If you're scared of heights or don't really like scrambling and just want a regular hike on a trail, well, this may not be a good fit. That's going to do it for this episode of Trekking Wild. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. And for more trail write-ups, gear reviews, and trip ideas, be sure to check out trekkingwild.com. Until next time, stay wild.